Welcome back to the second quarter of the Bobby Dupre Show. We do it in 4 quarters, and that fourth quarter, we get with it. We try to get to everything that we should have done in the first quarter. And it's kind of like the professional football games on Sunday afternoon. You can miss a whole bunch of the game, but if you catch the last 5 minutes, you're going to wrap up the whole game.
And we hope to have a winning drive at the end. Sometimes, though, you don't always have that winning drive, like LSU. Like LSU.
Oh, boy, that was
scored every time down, but that last time just couldn't make it.
And you know, no one really got down on the team at all because they played their heart out. It was who was going to have the last good drive.
And the defense is so young, and the offense is so much improved. It's so hard to get mad because you're like, well, you know, most of these kids you watch and playing for the defense, they were in high school. What, 6 months ago? They're playing high school ball. A lot of them didn't even make it to the Superdome. These are kids playing, you know, in some prairie, you know, Prairie de Farm or wherever. And then suddenly here you are in Georgia, you know, playing between the hedges. So that was impressive. And to see our quarterback do so well, might be the first quarterback taken in the draft. So, I mean, there's some positives, even though you don't want to win.
LSU doesn't like to lose.
Oh, no.
And they're not the best losers. Nobody's a good loser. No, if you're a good loser, it means that you were planning on losing. Yeah, something's wrong. You're not really pulling for the team. But that was a game that I heard little or no bad talk, that trash talk that you hear on all these different programs, ESPN 1, 2, 3.
You could see the two coaches at the end hug each other and both smile. That they just both knew. I mean, it was a special game for everybody.
Played their heart out. Yeah. And it doesn't affect us going to the Southeastern Conference championship game.
No, shouldn't. If we went out, everything takes care of itself. We're in the driver's seat. So.
Right. So it's going to be probably between Alabama and Georgia, who hopefully we can play.
No, because Alabama's on our side. We got to beat Alabama first.
Oh, well, how did we get to the Southeast? Didn't we get to the Southeastern Championship game together last year?
You've never played Alabama in the championship. You played them before, then you played them in the BCS. Right.
BCS. Right. Okay, we did play them twice.
That's right.
All right. Okay.
Sponsors. Carl's Thrifty Way. Boy, I cut you off fast. Carl's Thrifty Way. If you're looking for some medicine, they will help you out at Carl's.
That's what that fast little back does. Cuts you out.
That's right.
Boy, Sproles talking about.
So speaking of the Saints.
Oh, man. You can't get over talking about, you know.
The Saints right now, you know, Breeze, the Dolphins couldn't sign him because he just wasn't going to be good enough. He couldn't hold up. And to watch him just shred them like he did the other night. And, I mean, the Dolphins have a very, very good team, a very good young quarterback.
Let me tell you, I was afraid that
he's an up-and-comer.
If they hadn't made those 2 fumbles,
he's very smart, too, because have you seen his wife? She's pretty. When they signed him...
Now, we're talking about football, but that's all right.
When they signed him at the Dolphins, they were talking in those newspapers, and they said, you know, he may or may not pan out, but just the wife will help sell jerseys. You know, that as a couple, they have a good presence together. And you want to, you know, Drew Brees and his wife, how much they do for the community and so active.
They work as a team.
So there's no doubt the Dolphins have tried to mirror that type of thing. But it's just...
Let's get to our sponsor now.
Carl's Thrifty Way, your medicine. Get your prescriptions, get multiple prescriptions put together so that you can take them in one shot, what they call compounding. So you don't have this pill, this thing, that thing, all these bottles. You know, it's hard to travel with that. And legally, you're supposed to keep them in the original bottles. So if you get them compounded, they can put them in a single bottle, make it easy for you to travel with, and you're nice and legal. Over-the-counter medications, home decorating ideas, gifts as well. You know, the fall's coming up, all kind of events are going on. Go by Carl's Thrifty Way. And LHC Group, all your home health care needs, LHC Group can help you with the nurses you may need in-home. You know, I've got friends that need 24-hour-a-day nursing care. LHC Group can provide that. If you need the special wheelchairs or the little scooters, they can help put that together for you. The button you press to call for help, all those type of things that you need within your home, they can help you with. They've got hospice care, palliative care, health and wellness center, all over the United States. Louisiana Healthcare Group, all about helping people.
And of course, right now, Ginger Myers, one of the original owners of founders
of the
would be a
LHC
better
group.
word of
Right.
LHC Group. They're now working on the cancer drive for the women's
Right, it's breast cancer month right now,
month right
October.
now.
You'll see
And-
pink.
Yep, pink all over Lafayette and all over the United
The
States.
NFL
And-
will do it, and
Yep,
everybody.
they wear the little gloves, everything.
To promote.
One of the games, probably I don't know what game, but we're going to see
weekend
it.
you'll
One
see it.
weekend you're going to see it, and you heard about it on the Bobby Dupre show, along with my sidekick,
While we're talking
Andrew.
about breast cancer, one of our friends who had breast cancer.
That's correct. Passed away, and the funeral is Wednesday. We tape on Wednesday morning. We like to tell you. We taping, and I'll be attending a 1 o'clock funeral at a small Catholic church in downtown Lewisburg, Louisiana, where she was raised, about an eighth of a mile from the little church in Lewisburg, where her parents, Mr. Jim and Miss Agnes, raised 5 girls and a boy. Well, there were 2 boys, but one got killed, I think, in his senior year in high school.
Automobile accident.
Yep, Jim. They still talk about Jim. And we're talking about Julie, the person who died is Julie Daigle Morcantel. And they found her body at home, apparently had a heart attack, because Ginger had spoken to her, as I understand, on this Friday night for quite a while, and a short period of time again on Sunday. And she commented to Ginger that her food must have been giving her some trouble. She was indigestion, and that's a typical
one of the symptoms of a heart type issue.
I remember my daddy, the first heart attack he had, that was the symptoms he had. And Julie was age 56, a young child, and she actually has she's survived by a twin sister, Judy Daigle Dugas, David Dugas, and his family, of course, were all there last night at the wake. And
but when they were younger, you and I used to laugh about that the 2 twins didn't resemble each other as much as Julie and Ginger.
And Ginger, who are married later
resembled each other. I mean,
that's how I introduced myself to Ginger one night. I said, I don't know who you are, but I know your sister.
Right.
And she just couldn't believe that I walked up to her and told her that. And sure enough, when I told her who her sister
family
was,
resemblance was strong.
And not too long after that,
you were
we were
courting.
dating. Oh yeah, we were dating. In fact, that Tuesday night, I think this was like Saturday night at Toby's.
Right.
Oh well, that's part of my life, I guess. And of course, worked many years, 20+ years at John S. Dowling. She was the voice of John S. Dowling. Answered every phone call coming in there. And in the last 5 or so years, she worked for our good friend and an advertiser on the TV station here, Mr. Sherman Stanford, at his law firm. Right. And a neighbor of ours here, next door next door to the studio where we're filming right now. So,
and our friend Don Stanford, we talk about it, Don's brother. Right,
and of course she has a son, Jordy. And he was up in Pennsylvania working and had to fly home.
Is he in the shale business to be up there?
Oil, so that's what that is up there. If you have you have a relative or young son or daughter for that matter, and they're looking for work, believe you me, they can go up to Pennsylvania. It's easy to find out in Lafayette which companies are up there. You can go into North Dakota. Lots of Cajun people are up there.
Oklahoma. I talked to Slick the other day. Slick was in Oklahoma.
Utah, California. And California has recently approved fracking, the drilling by method of fracking, offshore California. Now that's stretching it, and they say that Obama doesn't do this or the government doesn't do this, doesn't allow it. Well, they're allowing it. They're needing the tax dollars.
It's amazing how happy they get about all that when it's money in their pocket.
Money to spend. But you know, anyhow, Julie, we loved you, baby, and may God take you and into His bosom as deacon.
Dwayne Joubert
last night.
The Rosary?
Rosary, and really impressive. That was
Dwayne's
the
a
first
good guy.
opportunity, because he just recently became a deacon.
It's been a little over a year he's become a deacon. He's a full-time deacon over at St. Landry Catholic Church. Good guy.
A full-time?
Full-time deacon. That's his full ministry now. He was working with the state for some time, and he's come on full-time to take care of things around the parish.
cool.
We're growing over there.
Yeah.
It's good to see. You know, they'd say, you know, downtown Opelousas, north side Opelousas is not growing. We're growing.
I belong to the church, Queen of Angels. I attend the church in Washington,
right.
where I feel they need me more. And hopefully I'm doing what I should be doing. And yet, if I ever die, well, I mean, when I die.
If you die.
If you die.
I'm going to leave a note. I'm not going to be there because you'll outlive me. But
I'd like for my funeral to be held at the St. Andrew Catholic Church.
At the Big Red Church.
That's the church I remembered from 8 years old on. That's where I made my first communion. My confirmation was in that church there. Right. We got away from it, but Julie, we love you.
And while we're talking about the Big Red Church and all the history, don't forget that the cemetery tours are coming up 2 middle weekends of October. That's October 12th and 13th and 19th and 20th. On Saturdays, it's from 6 p.m. till 8 p.m. They're doing cemetery tours. And on Sunday afternoons from 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. Then we're talking about all kind of the different families here, history, controversy, murders, marriages, all sorts of great history, and even architecture of the inside of St. Andrew Catholic Church. I think this year they're going to talk about the fancy stained glass windows, where they came from and why they look the way they do, why they're so unusual. So go by, you'll see it. It's only $10 a person. You can call Yvonne Norman at 308-3474 for more info.
Dan Burkhalter called me yesterday, and I missed the first call, and when I returned it, he said, "Boss," he always calls me boss. He said, "Boss, I knew you'd return my call right away." I said, "Well, I was in a different room from where the phone was." And he was needing the cerebral palsy clinic address. His wife, Linda, had a longtime good friend of hers that died, and they wanted to make a memorial donation.
Excellent.
And so they sent it. He had already got the address, but by the time I called him back, and we got to talking, and you know, you have a hard time getting off the phone with Dan, but very interesting. And he also let me know that the Louisiana Methodist Memorial Church, we're talking about churches, are having their annual fall fundraiser from 9 to 2 this Saturday here, and it's got a nice big parking lot, and they're going to have arts and crafts, and they're going to have baked goodies, and those ladies can really...
And it's the cradle of Louisiana Methodism. It's the first Methodist church in the state of Louisiana. When you cross the river, this is the place. I mean, right here in Opelousas.
And when I was a little Boy Scout, they sponsored my troop, Troop 31. I still remember the number, and I can still visualize in the back, that would be the northwest corner of their property. They had a log cabin there, and that's where we held our Boy Scout meetings.
Huh, that's interesting.
Great.
I didn't know about the log cabin. That's new for me.
Yes, and of course, that's this Saturday, this fundraiser, and it's a lot of fun.
While you talked about Dan Burkhalter in the Opelousas Area Cerebral Palsy Clinic, don't forget our Breakfast with Santa, annual Breakfast with Santa is going to be December the 4th. That's a Wednesday morning at the Indian Hills Country Club. We'll have chefs from Préjean's, from Swallows, from Steamboat, from Mitch's Crawfish. We're going to have, who did I miss so far? So, it'll all come to me. Ray Bello with Ray's
retired now, but he won't retire from that. I won't let him retire from being a cook on that.
The community coffee folks will be there as well. We'll have a whole huge crew of chefs and great
all
foods.
the volunteer and waiters,
the celebrity waiters. Don't forget that all that money goes to help provide therapy for all these needy kids with cerebral palsy here in Opelousas and the entire St. Andrew Parish area.
25 years, pastoral and church anniversary. Oh, okay, the Global House of Praise, that's Bobby Gradner is the pastor there, Friday, November the 1st. So we have a whole month to keep you reminded, but he is having a large event at the Opelousas Civic Center on November the 1st at 7 p.m., black and white attire.
There you go.
How about that? Classy. How about donation is only $10 to help pay for the expenses of
the building,
of a rental and cleanup and everything like that.
We'll see you folks on the other side of 1 minute for the second half of the Bobby Dupre Show.